Welcome to another episode of Mick and the Fat Man, digging the dirt on life, music, and everything. And now here's the Fat Man.
Well, thank you very, very much, Princess Fanula, our favourite dairy girl. Welcome to Mick and the Fat Man, episode number 18, series 2. And Mick, I'm amazed because, as you know, a couple of shows ago, I did have a little bit of a rant about mail and how we hadn't been receiving as much mail as we would have liked. And as I said at the time, I did have a bit of a potty mouth in relation to that rant. Well, lo and behold, more correspondence has come flooding in. Flooding is what I'm saying. Well, flooding from one person anyway. Rain has sent us an email. Ryan, I beg your pardon. I think you did tell me this and I got it wrong. Ryan. Sorry, Ryan. Sent us an email. He went back into the back catalogue and had a listen to episode number 8, series 1, episode number 8, which is on Countdown, and we call it the show that shaped the 70s. Indeed, it was a massive show for us. We listened to it every Sunday. It was on the TV. Very, very exciting times. He made a couple of points in relation to that show, and so there's some very interesting points he does make. His take was that pretty much every teenager, what he believes every teenager thought at the time. Now, he makes the point that Ray Burgess actually hosted the first couple of shows and they were a bit flat. So the producers wanted a bit more pizzazz and hence Molly was put into the role. I don't remember that, I must admit, but I don't even remember. Couldn't tell you the first show. I don't know that I ever saw the first show. But and then Molly came in, and he was a little bit of a nutter, as we know, and I think it was in general on some form of chemical assistance, and basically they thought that's great. He's perfect for the show. And another show that he mentions, and I don't know whether we mentioned in the show, but was GTK, which was a 10-minute show on the ABC, and that kind of came before Countdown. It was like more of a pop magazine show, wasn't it? If I remember,
it was, yeah.
And sometimes there were music clips on there, but back in the day, music clips were basically the music playing and something going on that either related to or didn't relate to the song in the background. So, like there'd be a song about cheese and there'd be someone walking along the footpath, not totally unrelated, and it'd be in black and white and it looked kind of trendy, but it had nothing to do. So they weren't really film clips per se, but it was the version of film clips back in those days, which I thought was interesting. But you did hear music, and you did hear music people interviewed and all those sorts of things. So it was quite a good show. In fact, I used to enjoy it. Then Sounds Unlimited. Now, Sounds Unlimited was originally hosted by a fellow by the name of Graham Webb. And then he also was probably a little bit dull as well, I would have thought, from memory. And he then took on the producer role and gave away the presenting role to Donnie Sutherland, who was at the time a DJ and a bit more of a wild fellow back in the day. And the show lost the title of Sounds Unlimited, became Sounds. So, I know you keep trying to tell me it was on in the night, but it wasn't. It was on a Saturday morning. It was just the time. Saturday morning. Just look it up. It was Saturday morning. There was another show later that was on later at night, but Sounds was on Saturday morning, 9 a.m. till 12 midday. Just telling you. I know you disagree, but it's true. Channel 10 had a show called Night Moves by Lee Simon. Now, Lee Simon, you remember Lee Simon, don't you, Mick?
I can remember the name with Night Moves, yeah.
Yeah, he was more of your cool dude, wasn't he?
Curly hair. Yeah, I think they all had to have curly hair.
But sort of a low, slow sort of sound from memory. I can't remember. Yeah. I don't know that I ever really watched
like we do.
Yeah, that's right. Low and slow. He also talks about Bandstand that was hosted by Daryl Summers. Now, I don't remember what year that was. It might have been in the 80s, I'm assuming. Do you think? 80s?
It's lost in the dim darks of my my memory. But then I think I've got an automatic block against remembering anything Daryl Summers hosted.
Daryl was a bit of a favourite for everything. He still can do it. He's a multi-talented guy. He's a drummer. He's a singer. he's a presenter. Obviously, Saturday Night Live or whatever. No, what's called Saturday. What was it called? The Saturday Show or something like that.
Yeah, it started out as Hey Hey. It's
still
Saturday.
Hey Hey, it's Saturday. So it used to be on in the morning on Saturday, and then it went to Saturday night. And of course, you had such wonderful characters as Pluck a Duck, Dickie Knee, and I think that probably the highlight of the show was Red Faces, where Red Simons would basically tell you how shit you are. Red Simons from Skyhook's fame. And probably the highlight of acts that ever made it onto there was a black and white minstrel type act. And who was the American who was on there at the time?
Harry Connick?
Harry Connick Jr., yes. Thank you, who said, I can't judge this act because that's like from the ancient past and people just don't do that sort of thing anymore in America. And I don't want to talk about that act at all.
well, to give the full story, he said that's disrespectful and walked off the show.
And then he did come back because Daryl obviously went into, and then Daryl made the big apology after the ad break, and Harry just sort of said, "You're a fuckwit," kind of thing.
He wasn't wrong.
He was not. Anyway, so that was certainly a great highlight. But one could never forget Bandstand of old, which was the old Bandstand hosted by Brian Henderson, who became the newsreader on Channel 9 later.
Brian told me.
And they used to have a sort of a stable of singers and a stable of dancers, because the people used to come out and either mime a song from overseas or re-sing a song from overseas. So they get Lonnie Lee or Little Patty or Cold Joy, and they would sing the song. So the single of the song is, a great song from America, and Little Patty will sing it over here. So it's sort of like the black and white minstrels without the blackface. Because
Harry Connick could walk off.
But this is the 60s, really, isn't it? I don't think it was the 70s. It was the 60s still.
Yeah, well, that particular episode on Hey Hey.
That was the
70s. Yeah.
That was the 70s. No, I was thinking about the original Bandstand. I mean, he also wants to. Rain also wants to talk about us maybe looking at some of those, doing a show on some of those some of those competing shows, which might be interesting. Rage, Beatbox, Ride On. So that's something we might have a look at. I must admit, the main shows that I used to Countdown, obviously, Sounds, and Flashes. I used to love Flashes, but it only went for a couple of seasons.
Yeah, it was a very short
Half
lifestyle.
hour.
I think it was devised as a gap filler.
Anyway, I kind of liked it. And Ray Burgess every now and again would get up and sing a song, because he was a bit of a singer, and they were songs. Not great songs, but they were songs.
After a fashion.
And Mike Mead. Do you remember Mike Mead?
I do.
He was on the show, and he had a song as well, and I can't remember what that was either because it was so good. But yeah, he was there, and I enjoyed the show, actually. I quite liked it.
Yeah, well, don't forget, our age, and it was all we had. So if you don't know there's anything else, then you think what you've got, no matter how crap it is all right.
I think you're right. I think when it comes to mediocrity, Australian TV pretty much had it nailed in the 70s, didn't it? And the 60s.
What I've seen of TV in the US and the UK, I think that's a pretty broad statement. I think TV in general.
Yeah. Different time. It was a different time.
Simpler time.
In fact, I was at a thing the other day, and someone did remind us that we now live in this world of 24/7 everything, so we have 24/7 news. They keep talking about how the news cycle's getting shorter. But if you remember, Mick, you and I back in the day used to have Thursday night and Saturday morning jobs because the shops opened on Thursday night only. One night was open till 9 p.m. and Saturday morning. And after that, at midday, all the shops shut.
Everything shut.
Everything shut. Everything shut except the hotels, I think, were open and the odd restaurant or takeaway food bar.
Yep.
But essentially everything was shut. And then Sunday, everything was shut. Everything was shut. And that was basically, realistically, a simpler time where on a Sunday families would be together. Whether you wanted to be with your family was another discussion. But
Of course not.
we used to often go for the Sunday drive. That was a big thing, the Sunday drive. And we'd go to, we'd go to Brighton Lee Sands and go for a bit of a wander along the beach and have some fish and chips for lunch. Or we'd go to the Blue Mountains, or we'd go to the Central Coast, those sorts of things. So that's a time where the family would turn off and you wouldn't have to go. Whereas now we kind of have as recreation. Shopping is almost a recreational activity.
Pretty much, yes.
So look, mate, I think we might go on and have a chat about some other news.
Yeah.
You've got a couple of things that you want to mention in relation to.
Okay. Talking about feedback. Yeah, and your expletive laden spray last time has unleashed people's enter fingers.
The floodgates.
The floodgates, indeed. But we haven't heard from our friend in Frankfurt.
Oh, that's right.
Still there.
He is he?
He's still there.
Or she.
He or she.
Or them.
Or them. It could be a family that sits around and listens to. They've got the phone Bluetooth to the radio.
Just be careful because Mick, once he gets a bit of a head of steam, he starts banging the table.
Oh, right. Yes.
And he's got his wedding ring on his finger and it bangs and makes a much bigger noise. But do go on. We're Frankfurt, isn't he?
It's Frankfurt. And we can tell that from our statistics that we get. We've got lots of lovely listeners all over, not just Australia, but all across the world. And the Flat Earth Society is listening. They've got people listening all around the globe.
All around the flat.
Yeah.
Now, I've got a proposition here, Mick. Next year, I'm going to be in Frankfurt.
I think we should lay a trap.
I'm only flying out of Frankfurt because I'm going to go to Munich and Berlin, but I will be in Frankfurt to fly out of there. If Frankfurt man or woman or them wants to meet up in Frankfurt for a quick chat, I'll be there. I don't know what date now, can't remember, but I will be there.
And a quick podcast endorsement, as in, hello.
I would love it. So, mate, if you're around, let us know because I'm going to be over there next year in June, probably. I think June-ish, something like that. Anyway, so, yeah, there's an offer. Offer you can't refuse.
Can't refuse indeed.
I mean, you'd travel a long way to meet me, wouldn't you, mate?
I would. I've even been known to cross the road.
Yeah. Why did the Mick cross the road? To meet the fat man. Great joke, isn't it? It's a great joke.
It's endless varieties.
Keeps on giving that joke. Okay, other news. You've got some news for us, mate. Sex Pistols, what's going on down there? Or the Sex Pistols, should I say?
The Sex Pistols. Well,
you got too many bits of paper.
I've got so many bits of paper.
You keep writing little notes on them. Johnny Lydon, as in Johnny Rotten's, handwritten lyrics for Holidays in the Sun and Submission sold for £50,000 at Sotheby's recently during a sale of memorabilia from the Sex Pistols.
And that comes to about 90 grand Australian.
What are you going to do with them now that you've got them?
Put them behind glass, and protect them so that they don't corrode or get spat on.
Mm. What about the manuscript of lyrics to No Feelings?
Well, it went for a similar amount, about 40 grand. And the total of the stuff that auctioned, Sex Pistols only, £350,000.
Johnny's been a bit short of dough. We know that, don't we?
He needs the dosh.
The missus isn't that well.
She's not well, no.
And he has done a few things that haven't really made him much money. So, look, good luck to you, Johnny, and I hope things go well. I hope the missus is going well as well. That's a funny thing. So, Mike and the Mechanics, mate.
Well, funnily enough, talking about how the world turns, Mike and the Mechanics is going out on tour again, and Phil Collins' son is going to drum for them. Shades of Zach Starkey.
Indeed, indeed. And Zeppelin.
Bonham's son.
Bonham's son, Johnson.
It must be genetic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clearly, as they say, a drummer is someone who hangs around with musicians. And, what do they get? Yeah, they must rub off.
Now, I've got one here that I picked up on the rock and roll pages. Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp will kick off a UK tour with his band, the Hollywood Vampires, in Scarborough next summer. The rock supergroup, which also features Alice Cooper and Aerosmith's Joe Perry, will play the first UK date in North Yorkshire on the 5th of July. They were going to go last year or a couple of years ago, but the pandemic slowed them down. But interestingly, recently, Mr. Depp was found on stage with Jeff Beck.
Trying to boost his credibility, I think.
They've done a song together. They've recorded together.
Dear, Jeff must be on his uppers.
So Jeff Beck, I've looked at it on YouTube, seen the song, and Jeff Beck says, and this was very controversial because he did this in the middle of his court case with whoever the woman was
Amber.
Amber. I didn't really follow it, but anyway, he won whatever happened, and so he was in the middle of the court case, and he appeared with Jeff Beck. Anyway, he's got a song that they recorded called Miss Hedy Lamarr. Familiar with Hedy Lamarr?
No, I haven't seen a lot of her work.
A actress from the 30s and 40s, I think, something like that, who also was an inventor.
All right.
And invented a radar-controlled torpedo in World War II. I'm not joking. I'm really not joking.
I must say I'm waiting for the punchline, Jeffrey.
There is none. That's the truth. They did end up using it for some reason. I can't remember exactly why. But anyway, her and her, what was he, artist friend, they came up with this invention of a radar-controlled torpedo.
Isn't that fantastic?
It is weird, though, isn't it? Anyway, we move on. Bill Bailey.
Bill Bailey.
That's what I meant to say as well. Sorry, just back to the Johnny Depp band.
Yep.
One of the songs that they have is a song called School's Out / Another Brick in the Wall.
Good heavens.
And literally it's going, school's out. And then it just keeps on going, and another brick in the wall. It's weird. It's an odd combination. School's out, another brick in the wall. Anyway, it's one of the songs in the band. That's what they sing.
Good heavens. Well, they're all high profile enough to steal quite flagrantly and not have it matter.
That's right. So anyway, with a bit of luck, I'll find Hedy Lamarr before we finish the show, so I can just play a little bit of it because it's all right. It's a song.
I think that's a wonderful thing. I think you should go looking for it immediately, Jeffrey.
I will.
Yeah,
I'll do it right now.
Jolly good.
Tell me about Bill Bailey.
Bill Bailey just played in Sydney in the last week or so. And Bill, as part of his routine, he talks about modern entertainment and modern musicians and who he likes and who he doesn't like. And I must say that he and I share a similar opinion of Coldplay.
No, that they love them.
He loves them and describes their songs as meaningless platitudes with a sing-song chorus.
That's great.
Isn't it just? Yeah.
That is awesome.
I thought, Bill, you've just rocketed to the top of my pops there.
Because he's a bit of a muso himself because he plays in the concert and in his concerts and stuff like that.
Well, he's got long hair, so he's eminently qualified for it.
That's right. No, it's interesting.
Indeed.
Say that. So can you do that again? What he said.
Well, he called it meaningless platitudes with a sing-song chorus.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. All right, let's continue on, shall we?
Let's do it.
Let's have a look here. 1,001 Albums You Must Hear Before You Die with Robert Dimery, the editor, 2021. Parallel Lines by Blondie, 1978.
This is all legitimately random, folks. And Jeffrey takes the book, closes his eyes and opens up on a page. And it just goes to show that in that time period, you could open up on any page and you'd have a great song. You'd have a great album.
I'll just randomly open another one. I've got Deep Purple Made in Japan.
Can't go wrong, can you?
Going to do another one. Rod Stewart, Gasoline Alley.
2 out of 3 ain't bad. No, actually, Rod was fantastic then. He was really good.
Oh, here we go. This is going to get you. Spirit, 12 Dreams of Dr. Sardonicus.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Not familiar with the Spirit oeuvre.
I haven't heard of it.
No.
What about, I'm going to go one more.
One more.
Creedence Clearwater Revival, Bayou Country.
On the bayou.
Right opposite on the other page, Crosby, Stills and Nash. Famous album, Crosby, Stills and Nash.
That's another one of those committee selections, isn't it? Yeah. What do we call this album? What do we call this album then?
I think we should try to do something like a juxtaposition of the way we've done.
How about Crosby, Stills, Nash?
That'll do. Yeah, good one.
Well, what about Parallel Lines by Blondie? Who doesn't love that?
Let's just go through it. Producer Mike Chapman, art direction Ramey Communications, which is interesting. The photography in this is interesting. Blondie didn't like the photograph. 41 minutes and 3 seconds. I'll just read just a little bit about it. So this is out of the book. Recorded in a sweltering New York summer, Parallel Lines was worth the sweat. Billboard summarised the result as witty, infectious rock, demonstrating maturity in delivery, credibility and vocal power. It remains a classic, much imitated, rarely equalled.
I'd buy that.
No, I do too.
I think it's a fantastic album. And Australia was one of the first countries to jump on board.
And I think Molly had something to do with it.
He did indeed, Molly. For all of we've talked about Molly in the past, and we talked about him in our countdown episode. Molly broke so many artists, and by the time he got to the end of Countdown, record labels factored him in as part of their marketing plan.
I'll give you another Australian link. The producer, Mike Chapman, an Australian.
It's wild, isn't it?
It's crazy. Major force in the British pop music industry, and he created, without any question, one of the greatest singles known to modern man, My Sharona.
Dun, 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 dun.
And that's all you need to do. That's it. Relax, mate. You've done your job. One song, walk away.
You had one job.
Yeah, one job, and he did it.
Yeah.
So, he actually has received a Medal of the Order of Australia, AOM, in 2014. So, another interesting. So he was in conjunction with another bloke by the name of Nicky Chin, who I don't really know much of, but he did. The other thing he did, so he's very much a pop producer, producing people like Racy, which Mick.
Who can go wrong with Racy?
Mick, you've got all the Racy albums, I know that, including all the best ofs, which are some of the longest albums I've ever seen.
And it's only an EP.
He did Simply the Best, Tina Turner.
You can't go wrong, can you?
NRL link. Ballroom Blitz by The Sweet.
Ready, Steve?
Andy? All right, fellas. Let's go. Devilgate Drive, Susie Quattro. He did quite a few
Great
Susie.
songs, yeah.
Did quite a few Susie Quattro stuff. Anyway, so let's move on. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to mention too, Blondie went on to in the Australian charts. She had 13 singles, 9 albums in the Australian charts. Heart of Glass went to number 1, and In the Flesh, Dennis and Rip Her to Shreds also preceded that, actually. So Heart of Glass came after 3 other songs in the top 40.
Correct.
Anyway, move on.
Well, there's a bit more here.
Go on.
Mike Chapman, being an Australian,
He's
good bloke,
top bloke.
He had a well-earned reputation. He didn't get all those hit singles for nothing. He had his reputation for he was very fast in the studio, so he didn't cost a lot as well. So,
is that right?
Yeah, and that's really that impacts on record labels. And he was fast in the studio. And when he first met Blondie, he thought they were sloppy. And in fact, what he did was he sent him away to learn to play a little bit better.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Come back where you can play.
Yeah. They needed to improve. Many of the songs, they didn't have the songs written when they went into the studio. In fact, one way or another, then we've mentioned that before about what do those songs really mean. That one's about a stalker. Chapman called her into the booth and to record, and she said, wait a minute, because she hadn't finished the words.
I think Chapman also talks about the fact that he found it difficult working with Blondie because she used to cry a lot.
There you go.
Because I think he might have been was he a bit of
a tyrant.
Bit of a prick.
Yeah. Well,
but a top bloke.
Top bloke, you can't go wrong, can you? The photo, you talked about the band didn't like the photo. Well, their management did. And it was done by a fellow by the name of Edo Bertoglio, and didn't he carry on?
Oh,
He's done lots of great stuff. It's not. But it showed the band, anyone who, anyone listening has seen the cover of the album, the black and white stripes, the stripes there, and the band were all standing straight, and Harry was standing a different way, with that precocious way she had with her hands on her hips.
Yep.
And basically what that did was that set the template for perceiving Blondie as her and her and the backing band.
Ah, as opposed to Blondie the band.
Yes, absolutely. So she became Blondie.
And it's true.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's absolutely true.
Yeah.
But interesting, when you look at the photo of the album, the way it's framed, because she's wearing white and they're wearing black, she's definitely way in front.
Oh, yeah.
So she looks like she's, like a couple of feet in front of her. She's probably not. She's probably just, a couple of centimetres in front, but she looks way in front. She's definitely the dominant member of that band.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, very interesting.
And that caused some issues later on, with the band. Yeah. I mean, God forbid that they should have egos, but
I don't think she would have.
No, not at all, no.
And she went out with the guitarist, didn't she? Didn't they hang around together for a long time?
Yeah, Chris Stein,
Yeah, Chris
and he
Stein.
got sick and she actually, it was nice. She stopped playing and looked after him to nurse him.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, that's good. I think I saw an interview with her not long ago with him still hanging around together.
Yeah, I believe they're still together or still friends at the very least.
And I think they've had a child together as well. I think she's had one child.
Gosh.
Which means they've had some sort of intimacy.
Good heavens.
Something.
What about the lyrics? The lyrics are, that sort of that snotty, punkish, punk in the American sense, sort of a bit of arrogance, a bit of showing off, hanging on the telephone.
Yep.
It starts off with, I'm in the phone booth. It's the one across the hall. If you don't answer, I'll just rip it off the wall.
That's a good line. That's a good couple of lines.
And all of their songs are filled with lines like that. It's that's who they were. So some of their stuff might have changed to other things later as they became a bigger hit, but they had that snotty punkish approach.
There's quite a few genres on this album too. There's that punky sort of feel as well as a bit of poppy stuff. So it's an interesting album. So they were able to get a few singles out into England as well, where it wasn't quite it's a bit more poppy.
Exactly. And Heart of Glass is a good example.
Yeah.
One Side of Love. Yeah, that was good.
And it was a gas, Heart of Glass. Seemed the real thing all the time.
Yeah, something like that.
Behind. Something like that. Anyway, great album. I hadn't listened to it for quite a while. Had a bit of a listen. Fantastic. Really enjoyed it.
It's a great album and it really stands up the test of time.
1978. God almighty. We were like, 12, weren't we?
Kiddies.
Just 12, 11 we were. Would have been 11, wouldn't we?
Exactly. Scarcely born.
A fetus. A zygote. I was a zygote when that album came out.
You were, yep.
Look, let's just move on. We're going to have a bit of a rumble around in the Globite school bag, which I can see over there, Mick. There's a bit of a smell emanating from it. And I think, is that a Devon sandwich that's in there at the moment with a bit of sauce on it that's making that bit of smell?
How could you have lunch at school without a Devon and sauce sandwich?
Look, I think it's a great idea, Devon and sauce sandwich, but leaving it for a couple of weeks probably is a bit of a problem. Why don't you open it up, push the sandwich to the side, tell us what's going on in there.
You know what? You know what I've got in there? That was me opening the Globite school bag.
I'm glad we've got a sound effects lab here.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that guy we've employed as the producer because you don't know how to press play.
Because what's the guys who make sound effects on movies? Foley. The Foley. Yeah, it's called something like the Foley.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Oh, no.
and they do all the walking along pebbles and all that sort of stuff, and it's incidental music of
We've
sound.
never gone for that really swish stuff.
I think we might now after that.
That was great. You mean it didn't sound like a Globite school bag opening?
I'm not going to say it sounded like a pen hitting the desk, but
Well, there you go. Go-Betweens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Another great Australian band.
Awesome.
We had a comment early on in the day. We had one of the rare bits of feedback that we get, and in fact, funnily enough, it was from Pete from Mackay, who must have nothing else to do. But Pete said very early in the day that he'd like to see more Australian bands. So here, Pete, this one's for you.
Pete, and it's a Queensland band.
Exactly, just for you.
And the other thing I want to mention is that without doubt, the greatest claim to fame is a bridge.
Well, how many bridges have you got named after you?
None.
Yeah.
And what better? I cannot think of a better name for a bridge than the Go-Between.
Exactly.
It's great. It's a fantastic and really, fantastic. Great band, fantastic musos, mostly, who have been, the backbone of some of the greatest music in Australian history.
Absolutely. They're certainly right up there.
You don't need to say anything, do you? Just hold on. Amazing.
Cheers.
And I haven't said anything, but two of the greatest riffs introducing songs in Australian history.
Yeah, people just to hear that and say, yeah, I know that.
I know that.
Yeah.
That is the Go-Betweens, and they are two of their finest songs.
Absolutely. We'll talk about them in a minute.
Yep. Aren't you glad I actually got the music to work this time?
I'm astounded. Jeffrey, that you actually got the music to work. And you got it to work when we didn't even know it was going to happen.
I know.
I think that's even better. That's fantastic. Yeah.
It was an accident.
Mick and the Fat Man, professional radio. Yes.
That's why we have a professional producer running everything here to make sure it all runs smoothly.
Where's he gone? Oh, he left.
Well,
I think he quit.
Because you wouldn't give him any cheese, he's gone.
Oh, dear. The things that people do anything for a slice of truffle cheese.
That's
just amazing.
Anyway,
now,
move on.
Listening to social media or reading social media, which is pervasive these days, I found a guy there's an American social media thing called Quora. Mm-hmm. And I found this. It's mainly filled by extremist idiots on both sides of the political front. In what's probably heading towards being a broken country, but
yeah, I get headline. I subscribe to a newsletter and it says things like, "Will Putin win the war?" And it's like 8 weeks ago, so it's totally irrelevant now. Or why is such and such so good? And it's from someone's written something 5 years ago. Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah, it's pretty much rubbish. But I did find one guy on there. Some people like to just post about their hobbies and what they're interested in. Mm. And this guy, he's Irish. He's based in Dublin.
Yeah.
And I'll read his name out, and then we'll speculate on how you might actually pronounce it.
Yep.
But reading his name is Muris MacCartain. Now, with Gaelic, it's probably Morris McCartney.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. So, mate, I sincerely apologise for the mispronunciation. No matter which way I've done it, I've mispronounced it. So maybe we can be in touch later and apologise in person. But by the by, he's got some comments in there, a fairly long spray about the Go-Betweens, which I think is amazing. In Dublin, talking about a band diametrically on the other side of the world.
Yeah, indeed.
And he's quite learned about them. He's not just saying, "Oh, I heard one song and they sounded all right."
Yep.
He's done an extremely good job. His views are the same as mine, but he expressed them so eloquently that I've lifted some of his words. It's just so there you go. Fair warning and fair appreciation of use of somebody else's stuff.
Thanks, Morris.
Yep. He calls them, they were the Fleetwood Mac of indie rock in the 80s. Except, of course, for the huge sales, musicianship and impeccable production. Actually, they had little in common with Fleetwood Mac, other than they had a couple of women in the band. They had substance abuse and inter-band love affairs.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, which is always going to stuff your band up.
Yeah.
They wrote great bookish, world-weary songs about life, a bit like Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
And got zero for their efforts. They weren't successful until very much later, but and which is really disappointing because I find them to be one of the best Australian bands that there is or has been. He likens them, and I have read this elsewhere, a mix of the Velvet Underground's later stuff, when Reid was writing more songs rather than trying to spill his heart out on the gutter.
Sure.
Talking Heads. Bits of Bob Dylan's narrative skills in the way that they've written, television's clear production and guitars.
Oh
yeah, which I thought was interesting. It's pulling in lots of things, and the Monkees for that pure pop influence. And the Monkees I've said this before. Monkees got a lot of criticism for being a manufactured band, but they were very talented. As they proved later on when they took control of it.
But initially they did have some very good writers working with them.
Of course, why not?
And they produce some great songs. But still the same. They have a Monkey sound, and their sound is you can't make that up. They were fantastic. I loved the show.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Well, it was exactly in our era.
I love the show.
Actually, before our era, but that doesn't matter.
And the wackiness, there was so much wackiness.
Yeah. Their early stuff was sort of new wave, but I don't know if I'd want to pin it down to any particular style. Very rough and ready early songs. The one that I first remember hearing on the radio is Lee Remick, which was their single before they actually had anything at all. And the single was, as I say, was called Lee Remick, and it was played well on the radio. I thought they were very interesting. It was about a young man's infatuation with a beautiful film star. In this case, Lee Remick. Who was quite beautiful at the time. Some of the lyrics: "She comes from Ireland, she's very beautiful. I come from Brisbane, I'm quite plain." And that's one of the songwriters in the band, Robert Foster.
Yeah,
we'll come back to who was in the band in a moment. And it's very tongue in cheek the way he lifted references and pop culture references through all of his songs. And she was in The Omen with Gregory Peck. She got killed. Oh, what the heck. You can't go wrong with that, can you?
No, it's a great line.
It is indeed. Yeah, look, so, there was Robert Foster, obviously. Yeah. Grant McLennan, who was also on vocals and leads. So they had twin vocals, so they'd sing together or sing individually. So they had quite a wide variety of range and a variety of stuff that they could sing, rather. They didn't do covers as a matter of course.
Now, Grant's passed on, I think, hasn't he?
He did. He died, several years ago. Yeah. Of a heart attack. And it might have been a John Entwistle type heart attack.
What happened to John Entwistle? Oh.
Yeah. So and you heard the reference there to drug abuse?
Mick luckily had some stuff to stick in his nose.
Just to remind you.
Which can put your blood pressure up quite alarmingly high.
It does indeed,
and can give you a heart attack.
There's an excerpt in a book by Robert Brokenmouth called "The Birthday Party and Other Epic Adventures," which talks about someone walking into a room and there's the go-betweens sitting in a circle with the bad seeds shooting up. So they were not averse to a bit of chemical persuasion.
Yep, fair enough.
And that's what they did. But the band as a whole, they did 6 albums in the 80s, equal songwriters with both of them. Yeah. They wrote separately. They didn't write together, so it wasn't even any pretense of like Lennon and McCartney, who also wrote separately, but then worked together. These two guys wrote separately, occasionally worked together, but in the main, presented finished songs to the band.
Is that right?
Yes, yeah.
Very Lennon and McCartney like.
Well, Lennon and McCartney, the way that I understand it with Lennon and McCartney is that they'd each write their songs and present the finished song for the other one to have a look at and add.
Okay.
Day in the Life is a good example of that, where Lennon threw in the ah.
Yep. Okay, fair enough. No, good point.
Yep. Of the albums that they did record, the 6 albums, they were all had double L in the title. Now, it's just one of those little
Really?
affectations, yes.
I've never noticed.
16 Lovers Lane, Liberty Bell and the Black Diamond Express, Spring Hill Fair, Tallulah.
Okay.
Yeah, so they didn't annoy the charts very much at all. And I think your
Black Diamond Express. Is that an album?
Liberty Bell and the Black Diamond Express.
Oh, Liberty Bell and the Black. Oh, okay.
There's a double. There's a double L there, and even
16 Lovers Lane isn't double L.
Lovers Lane.
2 L's.
Yeah.
Not like Lullaby with Lull.
Send Me a Lullaby.
Or Spring Hill HILL. Or Hollywood HOLL. It's L and L. So I think you're wrong. Tallulah TALL. Lullaby. Yeah, so just saying. I'm just saying. All right.
Thank you for just saying. Can you get back in your box, please?
All right. See if I give a fuck.
2 L's in the title, and even their the best of that the record label put out when they split up the first time was called Bella Vista Terrace.
Nice.
2 L's, yeah, nice. Yeah, it's
Nice stuff.
just one of those little affectations, but they didn't bother the charts very much. They did as well as, if not better, in Ireland, which accounts
that right?
for this guy from Dublin liking them.
Which reminds me, I'm going to be in Dublin next year as well. So if you're around, Morris, give me a hoy in the email. I'll pop and say good day.
And they had a top 30 hit in New Zealand, of all places. I mean,
Which
after
one?
all these years, was
Top
there anything?
30
Yeah,
in New Zealand.
It's not really a big. It's not really a big hit. Not really enough to sort of buy a new house for your mum, is it?
4 people bought it.
All the same week.
So and coming in at number 30. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah. Look, during the 80s, many expected the Go-Betweens to have a breakthrough hit. Just never happened. They sounded very similar to many of the high cred bands in the 80s. Things like a band called Prefab Sprout.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Lloyd Cole.
Yeah.
Who's also very good.
Yeah.
Everything But the Girl.
Yes.
Which is very funny because Tracy Thorn from Everything But the Girl sang on one of their albums later on. Yeah, and even R.E.M. They had a lot of similarity with much of R.E.M.'s stuff, except when R.E.M. just started to go a bit heavier on the distorted guitar, but that's okay.
I think they had a number 30 in New Zealand as well, R.E.M.
Well, I don't think they had as good a number 30 as Go-Betweens.
And a string of number 1s, of course. But anyway.
Yeah, well, we don't talk about that.
No.
At least this band has had a bridge named after them. There's very few bands, Australia or elsewhere, who've had a bridge named after them. AC/DC has a street in Melbourne named after them.
In general, infrastructure is not the sort of thing that ends up with a band attached to it, is it?
Not really, no, unless the architect takes drugs.
Because nowadays what we tend to do is we tend to get someone to sponsor it, so it's the Winfield Stadium or...
Ah, right, yes.
But I think it should be, you're not allowed to sponsor a piece of infrastructure. You have to be...
Not if it's paid for by us.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So I would like to see the Sherbet Stadium.
Or Highway Sporting Ground.
Highway.
In fact, the Pacific Highway.
I want to see a highway. That would be awesome.
Well, exactly right.
Let's do a whole show of renaming the infrastructure of Australia with bands.
Ooh, let's not.
That was so good. Yeah. People would love it.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. If that doesn't prompt your feedback, nothing will. Nothing will.
The church. St Mary's Church.
St Mary's Church.
The St Mary's Church.
Yeah. The Church of Church. Let's not.
So many good things.
The band was formed in 1977 in Brisbane. There you go, Pete. That's just for you. It's up in Queensland. It's north of the border.
What would go with Goodbye Yellow Brick Road?
Goodbye Yellow Brick Church.
Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Sorry.
At the same time and in the same environment that produced the Saints. So
really?
Yeah. They both came from Brisbane in the mid-70s. There you go. What can I say?
No, okay, fair
So,
enough.
and the band then is a contemporary of the Saints' birthday party, the Bad Seeds.
Interesting.
It is.
Because they're all very different, aren't they?
Very different indeed. But I guess there's a similarity in that all three of them were trying not to be...
Trying to get out of Brisbane.
Well, trying to get out of Brisbane for a start, absolutely, yes. But not play anything conventional.
Yeah.
Even today, Nick Cave's songs are a bit envelope pushing, a little calmer. You can't get to that age and still be screaming about, where's my heroin, that sort of thing.
No, true.
Because he's given that up. Yeah, and that's a wonderful thing. The name of the band comes from a movie again.
What movie?
The Go-Between, starring Julie Christie in 1971.
Oh, what was that about?
I don't know.
I'll look it up.
I wish you would. I knew you would. And here we go. Their first public appearance, when they first played live at a place called Baruna Hall in Brisbane in early 1978, was supporting the Numbers. Now, do you remember the Numbers?
No.
Rocking band, brother and sister, Annalise and Chris Morrow were the singers.
No.
She was the singer. So a blonde, good-looking girl singing for a rock band, hardly unusual. Debbie Harry, I'm looking at you.
No, okay. Yeah. The Go-Between is a 1971 British period romantic drama film directed by Joseph Losey. It's a screenplay by Harold Pinter. Adaptation of the 1953 novel The Go-Between by L.P. Hartley.
Really?
So there you go.
I'm impressed.
Follows a young boy named Leo Colston, who in the year 1900 is a guest of his wealthy school friend Marcus Maudsley. So there you go. We must watch that. Okay, we've got two things to watch now for the rest of the afternoon.
We'll be busy for the afternoon, won't we?
Yeah, we do. We are.
Their first show in Sydney in 1980 was at the Paris Theatre. Do you remember where the Paris Theatre was?
Now, where was the Paris? Is that... Now, you have to tell me.
It's not there now.
No, I know.
It's on the intersection of Wentworth and what's the other, Liverpool Street.
Wentworth.
The Connaught building, apartment building, is now there, and that was one of the first of the luxury apartment buildings in Sydney.
I remember
they knocked down the Paris. The Regent was at the other end of town. Yeah, near Town Hall.
Yep, I know exactly where. Okay, the Connaught building. Yes.
And this Paris Theatre hosted shows by the Rose Tattoo, Cold Chisel, In Excess, Birthday Party, Laughing Clowns, all of those people. The Laughing Clowns is the band that spawned out of the Saints once Ed Cooper left the Saints.
That's right.
And came back and formed the Laughing Clowns with Jeffrey Wegener. And their sound is unusual.
I subscribe to a rock page on something, Facebook I think it is. Anyway, a picture came up the other day of Ed Cooper in his house in Brisbane taking a photo of the garage out the window saying this is where the Saints started playing as a garage band.
Well, naturally you're playing the garage.
Yeah, I know, but it was just funny that you mentioned it, and there it was just only a couple of days ago. Ed Cooper was on Facebook with that photo.
Fantastic.
What's going on?
I'd like to see Ed play again. I haven't seen him for a while.
Oh, yeah, I saw him. I told you. I saw him at Parramatta playing a couple of years ago. It was really good.
Yeah. He always was. And
the funny thing was he was selling his merch at the end of the show all by himself.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame, isn't it? But he's got his own label, Hot Label, where he sells stuff mail order and online.
Oh, yeah. Fastest songwriter in the world, I think. He can churn out songs like unbelievably.
Is that right?
A lot of songs, yes. He can do a lot of songs.
At one stage, he was very prolific in recording as well.
Yeah. Anyway, he's great. I've got a best of album of his. It's really good.
Oh yeah, he really is. Yeah. I've seen them twice. I've seen the Go-Betweens twice. I've seen Ed a lot more than that. In fact, I saw, looking out the window, you can see the Headlands Hotel.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, before it became a luxury middle class plus resort.
It was a real dive.
It was a real dive, and I saw Ed there. in the sunroom out the back.
Oh, I was going to say, I remember going into the bar, like on the other side there, and like the ceiling's really, really low. It was really...
Well, that's because it had fallen down a bit as it was going on.
I thought it was made in the 18th century when people were a bit shorter or something like that.
Well, it could be, yeah, all the Cornish miners.
Yeah, you know, like in England, a lot of the buildings are really, a lot of the doors, the stoops are quite low.
Indeed.
Yes. Anyway.
Yeah. Enough about Ed. I saw Go-Betweens as support for REM at the end of '89. Robert Foster was wearing a dress, and I never understood why.
Well, you better ask your mate.
Yeah.
Ask your mate.
I will. I'll have to ask Morris. Yeah, see if he knows.
No, I'm thinking of bloody Drone Man, Viola Drone Man, John Cale. He wears a fucking dress when he plays nowadays still.
Well, maybe because it's comfortable.
It's a skirt, really. It's not a dress.
It's comfortable. Yeah.
Maybe it's like a kilt.
Hey.
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 He could be wearing a Welsh kilt.
He could be.
Has Robert Foster got anything to do with Wales?
I don't think so. No. I don't think he's even seen a whale.
Brisbane. Is there Welsh connections with Brisbane?
I don't think so.
No. Okay. No Cornish. Do they have Cornish pasties?
They could do. That could be it.
That could be it.
Yeah. I saw them at the Heritage Hotel at Bulli, just down the road here.
Oh, okay.
In early 2006, just before McLennan died.
Oh, how did he look?
He looked fine. Yeah,
Oh.
he looked good. And they were actually really good live. And
Did you tell him to cut down on the coke a bit, right?
no, I didn't.
You should have.
I should have, shouldn't I?
Because he'd probably still be with us.
Yeah, well, I should. Yeah, Grant, mate, just take it a bit easy. You're not as young as you used to be.
The ticker's not going to tick for too long if you keep sticking that up your nose.
That's right. I don't even know if he did Colombian marching powder, but nonetheless, some of their songs. You know how we've talked before about how advertising people never listen to the bloody lyrics of a song.
They do not.
All they listen to is the verse, so that's why they keep playing "Walk on the Wild Side."
That's
now,
right.
the Streets of Your Town was
A song.
It was a song, and it was used by a regional TV network.
Yeah.
We play on the streets of your town. Yeah, we know about your town and we play about your town. Except that the lyrics, as Robert Foster himself said, I wanted to do a song about how things look one way on the surface and look completely opposite on the underneath when you take a good look.
Scratch the surface.
Yeah, see the butcher shine his knives, and the town is full of battered wives. Yeah, and now if they bothered to play that line, that really would have helped them a lot.
And would have the butcher sharpening a knife, the butcher sharps a knife, and then just have a photo of a battered wife.
Exactly.
Welcome to Dubbo.
Yeah, they weren't. Welcome to Dubbo, indeed. I don't know if Dubbo's got more DV than anybody else in the world, but who knows? You just don't know, do you?
I can tell you now, Broome definitely does.
Yeah, I'm sure it does, yeah.
It's got one of the highest amounts of domestic violence in the country, and murders and unsolved murders.
Oh, really?
The Kimberley per se.
Well, a place like that, it's all very isolated. They'd need 100 coppers to try and find the bodies.
Indeed, because they've lost a few.
I'll bet they have.
Or they never found them. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, that's all right, mate.
A lot of domestic violence in Dubbo and Broome.
Yep, exactly right.
Yeah, you just write that down, mate. DV,
I've got it written
Broome.
down. They did lots of stuff. They got so much accolades for all the things that they did, and it's really a crime that it just wasn't successful. Last time we played a whole lot of music. We talked about a whole lot of music of bands that, for one reason or another, weren't successful and went and it all just fell to pieces. This is a classic example of talented people all together playing it. They didn't do anything wrong, but maybe they didn't do anything right either. Maybe who knows?
Did they use a drum machine sometimes
No,
instead of the drummer?
They had a drummer, Lindy Morrison.
Didn't they use a drum machine once when in some way?
No, they could have. Maybe they should have.
I think they did.
Did they?
They recorded one of their songs with a drum machine.
Well, that's probably an example of why they didn't like Lindy, because there was the oft-aired claim that she drummed slow.
Anyway, she works with roadies and stuff like that nowadays.
Does she?
Yeah, I think.
Doing what?
It's raising money for roadies because they don't have any super or anything like that.
Oh, isn't that lovely? That's a
Yeah.
good idea.
No.
Yeah, and if people are wondering, they would have seen Lindy on TV on the ad for Australian Pensioners Insurance. So she's walking through a house and you see a drum kit there and you see on the wall all the pictures of Go-Betweens posters.
And a drum machine.
Drum machine. She's a drum machine.
Just a bit slow.
Once you get on a thing, you just stay there, don't you?
I don't move.
Yeah, you don't move. 2 songwriters in a band, and unlike a lot of bands where you hear, sort of egos and they clashed against each other and so on and so on, Lennon and McCartney, probably a good example. These two really thought the world of each other. They were
They
really
actually liked each other.
They were really good friends.
Oh, I'll be buggered.
Yeah. Foster wrote a song called Man O' Sand to Girl O' Sea, as in Man of the Sand to Girl of the Sea. And the lyric was, I feel so sure of our love, I'll write a song about us breaking up.
Oh.
Yeah. But McLennan, when asked about that song, he says, it's quite beautiful, really. Yeah, and they often sort of dipped in and made comment about each other's song, but there wasn't any, you have to do this or I'm being ignored or anything like that. Cattle and Cane, they both worked on that together because they'd written it, the whole thing, and the third verse, the one that's spoken word, didn't play as a singing verse. So then they did it as a spoken word, and it worked well.
Yeah, great song.
Yep. So look. Foster started as the singer, as the vocalist, as the songwriter with the band. But as the band went along and as they got more and more skilled, McLennan wrote more, and until it was about half and half. And later, in one of their later albums, the band split up at the end of the 80s, and then they reformed in the 2000s, very early.
All of them?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Except for Morrison.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, they got back together because a French magazine asked them to come and play at the magazine was Les Incorruptibles, as in the Incorruptibles.
Oh yeah. French
Bit of a play on words.
French is impeccable.
Oh, look, I know that multiple languages at once, mate. I can do it all.
Multilingual.
Yeah. So they played in 1996 in Paris.
Yeah, where?
At the magazine's 10th anniversary party.
Really?
Yeah.
How bizarre.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try the name of the venue or the name of the songs that they sang or anything like that because you'll merely ridicule me.
I'll mock you.
Mock you indeed.
Where did they play? Do you know?
No, I don't know the name of the venue, and I don't know that it matters. Maybe it was the office of Les Incorruptibles.
Sorry? What were they called again?
I can't remember. Somehow or other, my notes have got all blurred.
Le Rockoplables.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, it's interesting.
So they got together as a band and recorded an album, the first one without double L in it, or 2 L's.
Oh, what was that called? Lover's Lane?
No, The Friends of Rachel Worth. Lover's Lane has 2 L's.
Oh, not together though.
Oh, yeah, you're a dick. And then they played in the 2001 Big Day Out. So the Big Day Out, has been a great support for Australian bands. They went after that in 2001 and recorded Bright Yellow, double L, Bright Orange. That in 2005, finally they got some mainstream recognition. They got an ARIA for Oceans Apart, which is a lovely album. If people are going to listen to one... No, that's not right. They'd listen to that album and it's great, but they should listen to Liberty Bell, which is my favourite. That's the first one I bought.
Oceans Apart?
Oceans Apart, yes.
There's no double L?
There's no double L. No, I think they'd dropped that conceit by then.
Okay.
And I know that's very disappointing for you.
Okay.
And
Not gonna say
I can
anything.
imagine how disappointed you would have been to
Just
not be able to tell me that there's no double L in there and that I hadn't missed it or something like that.
Just that you made a bit of a point about it earlier on, and all of a sudden it doesn't exist anymore. There's no here's what happened. Like, here's all this stuff about double L. Now we get, this is not fucking there. I'm just thinking,
Life's like that.
You build us up and you knock us down. And you just let us down.
I'm sorry, Jeffrey.
Okay.
2006, Grant McLennan died of a heart attack.
Yep.
And Robert Foster wound the band up. At that time, he said, they are no more.
Yep.
But
what's Robert Foster done since then?
Not a lot. Sorry, correction. He's done a lot of solo work, but certainly not anything that's going to be at a high success level.
Yeah.
Sadly, he's continuing the level of success that the band had. Well regarded by the industry, well regarded by players, but not having that commercial touch. There's a song on Oceans Apart called "Boundary Rider" by Grant McLennan, and look, it tapes in that. I don't know if there is an Australian sound, but I think if anything, the Go-Betweens would be the closest to have captured that Australian sound in their sound and the lyrics.
Yeah.
And he's talking about a boundary rider on the 5 Mile Fence,
very nice.
probably back in Queensland.
Yeah.
And one line is just so telling. You know, one day you're riding to keep them in, and then comes a day when you're riding to keep them out.
Sounds like Queensland, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. Quite an extraordinary line, that one, and that.
Did you go through Queensland on your ride?
The back end of Queensland through Charleville and where the Qantas Museum is. What's that one called?
Longreach.
Longreach, yes, yeah.
They let you in?
Yeah, they did.
And let you out?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I just said
Just checking.
Anastasia said I could come.
Oh.
And they said, well, on your way then.
On your way.
Yeah, not a problem.
AP's all right for us.
Yeah, so that was all right. Yeah.
Robert wrote a book called Grant and I, Inside and Outside the Go-Betweens in 2016. Have you read that?
I haven't read that one, no, but I'll now go and look for it.
I'm surprised you hadn't.
Yeah.
Given you put on this
my
thing.
predilection for books.
Yeah, and you bloody got all the double L stuff in there. Might be a little bit of information you might need to know about the double L, that's all. Would have been good if you had read it before the show. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Mick and the Fat Man talking crap. That's a new title of this podcast.
Yeah, thanks.
So the Go-Betweens, I think we could probably wind it up there by saying, really have a listen to the Go-Betweens. If you're going to listen to an album, listen to Liberty Bell and the Black Diamond Express.
Yep.
But any early album from the 80s by the Go-Betweens, you won't be disappointed.
I think you have to say, in general, two of the greatest songwriters in Australian rock music.
Oh,
without doubt.
You wouldn't be wrong. You wouldn't be wrong, and you wouldn't be able to be contradicted.
No, there's no argument with it, and a couple of the greatest intros to songs that will never go away, as I played them earlier on. All right, I think we'll wind it up there, Mick. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook. Subscribe to the podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you get our podcasts as soon as they are published. And follow us Facebook, Instagram. Send us an email, Mr. or Mrs. or them Frankfurt. Don't forget, I'll be over there next year. Send us an email and we can catch up. We can have a glass of beer. And don't forget, also be in Dublin next year and we can catch up with Morris as well. So that'll be great. We're going to finish up with just a little bit of a couple of little things here that'll get you through the day. Bye now.
Thanks, Mick. Thanks, Fat Man. I feel better already.